Where do you reside from? It could be Green Bay. It could be White Hills, New York.
White Hills?
White Plains.
You're the worst. You don't pay attention.
I don't
care about my career at all.
I don't interviewee study.
Interviewee study says.
You are betting as like traders at this Oasis in Egypt on this camel race, but it's all insane.
Okay.
Brock Burkholder. Brock, insert last name here for many years, but Brock debuted in 2012 at the Baba Louie.
So that gets set aside
Until we've run through all of the dice in the pyramid. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, straight, 100%.
Yeah.
Thought about this before I came here.
Oh yeah.
No.
Looked up Camel Up strategies. Where did you train, and who by?
So, multiple trainers. I originally started in March, April of 2011 in Appleton, Wisconsin, for Packerland Pro Wrestling under Chris Bassett, the Cobra. But then I also started training with Shane Hills, it was like 2012 to 2014, 2015. I trained with Shane as well. So I was doing both camps for about 3 years.
Okay, then I'll do a thing.
Sure. Why not?
One gray, so I could choose either black or white to move in the opposite direction.
No, that's black. TJ's colorblind.
Yep.
Yeah,
You never know. Colorblind with black and white. That would be really bad.
I just guess what the ref jersey is every time I put it on. My wife's like, yeah, that's right.
I've never told you when I'm wrong.
What made you make the jump from just watching professional wrestling on television and wanting to be a part of professional wrestling?
Well, this is the only thing I've wanted to do my entire life. Like when I was 2 years old, I got my first action figure and started watching wrestling. And that was it. Like there was literally no other option like for me in life. It was like, hey, what do you want to do? I'm like, oh, I want to be a wrestler. Like, I remember like getting to like middle school and like the middle school like, hey, guidance counselors like, hey, what do you want to do when you get older? And I'm like, well, I want to be a professional wrestler.
It's your turn to go 70, Sam.
I think I'll do that. I mean, since you profited from it.
Sure, why not?
All right, you're up then. Can't wait to the end when you choke.
I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt this at all.
I've had my middle school counselor, my high school counselor. They all called me stupid and said to get a real dream because I needed to study for an actual future because that wasn't going to go anywhere. So that motivated me more. But I never really had a means to get into wrestling. Started college, started doing for graphic design, web design. And I was like, all right, cool. I like computers. I have fun with them. Got about 3 months in. I was doing good. Like it wasn't like, hey, this is bad. Like I had A's. Like I was solid. My dad had seen an ad in the Entertainer, I believe it was, and it was like, hey, pro wrestling school, Appleton. It was like Chris Bassett, it's the Cobra, PPW, and I was like, well, that's cool. Like, I mean, really, at this point, like, what do I have to lose? So I was like, why not?
I make deals that you can't refuse in Monopoly. That's where this all stems from.
You literally hold a gun to a poor person's head and say, hey, do you want that box or not? That's what you do to people. And then you make them give you the box afterwards.
Yeah.
So I gathered up the money I needed for the tryout, drove down to Appleton, and let's just say for a person that loves wrestling and really wanted to wrestle,
Yeah.
I was completely unprepared for my first tryout.
How so? What made it unprepared?
For one, obviously I wasn't in shape. And on top of that, you would think I would know, like, you think I would just show up in like gym shorts and like a shirt.
Athletic wear. Yeah.
I didn't.
What did you show up in?
So I had this really dumb idea in my head that I needed to dress like a creator wrestler.
Yeah.
I got my World Series poker chips over here.
Never stack on the table.
But everybody does the little things.
Yeah, it's because they're trash. They're trash. Your turn.
Well, they're on TV.
So I decided what I needed to wear for this tryout was I needed to wear random, Jordans,
Okay. So,
MMA shorts,
all right.
a cut-off Shawn Michaels tee. It was a pretty sweet t-shirt.
Yeah.
A Jeff Hardy chain necklace,
Okay, now you're losing me.
and gold gym gloves, like workout gloves.
Yeah, you lost me. You're ashamed of this, aren't you?
I still have photos of this.
Okay.
They're bad. They're very bad. Like, nobody needs to see these.
You did not counsel out.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
to build up anticipation, so I'm gonna cash in.
My niece in Monopoly, which is a banker, is
You got-
constantly changing her money up and down to keep people from
What do you got?
figuring out how
24.
much she has.
28.
Beat me by 4.
We got numbers.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
With like 5-6 people, it gets really energetic. People are screaming for their camels with their rolling the dice. Also, I play this game drunk, remember? So
While you're wearing a moonshine shirt.
So they
on.
may not,
Back
may or
with
may
Bob,
not
maybe.
have been actually screaming for their camels. They were just drunk.
All I can say is if I was the people watching me walk in, as I've seen many people walking through the years, I understand why we look at them the way we do.
Yeah.
Because I would have looked at myself and was very judgy. It's like, you know, when I got older and like seeing people coming to camps and like, you're like, how ridiculous, why would they think that? I thought that.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, like I'm too dumb to know any better. Like I'm coming up as a kid that just grows up watching wrestling and that's all I want to do.
Do you think that helped you with, there's a new guy coming in and and let's say he looks like you, are you now like, I get it, man, I get it, and you know, I'm going to be.
Absolutely not.
No?
I do the exact same thing that they did to me.
Oh, yeah?
I tried to beat them out of the business.
Okay.
Not because like I'm just trying to be a jerk, but I also know that because of how I was treated and how they treated me then, it made me want it more. Like it made me want to. It had something to prove. Like give me a chip on my shoulder. Like no, like I may look ridiculous, but no, this is where I belong. Like this is what I want to do. So like anybody that if you come in here with this like weird idea that I want to do all these fancy moves and all this stuff, and like we just start like teaching how to bump and roll and all this stuff, and you're like, I don't really like this. Well, then you don't belong, and that's just one person that doesn't need to be here. Because like everybody's got dreams, but how much do you? How willing are you to chase them?
Yeah.
You know, like there's been plenty of times throughout my career, like I thought about quitting, and it wasn't because like oh wrestling isn't what I want to do. It's because it was hard. Like it was really hard. Like it really made you test like how much do I really want this? Like how much do I really want to stay here? Do I want to show up the next day and get my ass kicked?
Yeah.
Like is it worth it? I mean, it 100% was.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I kept coming back because every bit of it was all
So you don't.
the end justifies the means.
So you don't regret anything.
Absolutely not.
you can only gain victory points inside the city. So the point is to wail on him enough that he leaves.
Okay, so
Oh, well, that seems simple.
his current move was to go inside
To
the
place
city.
himself.
Okay, how do I take control? Like, go.
You have to convince him to leave.
Want to leave?
You have to wail on him enough that he chooses to back out.
So I
when he
want
has
to
really low
leave.
health.
Okay.
Well, I'm already halfway there, so absolutely not.
I only started doing this because of you.
You're welcome.
Like, you taught me how to do this inadvertently.
You ask Shane Hills, it's train tracks. You're welcome.
Train tracks?
Because he thinks these are train tracks.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Don't encourage him.
Okay, so speaking of stuff like this, actually, GB3.
That's not a real thing.
GB3 is not real? Nope. Tell me what you know about the Unreal GB3. It's an interrogation.
I've seen it on the internet. I think they're a fake faction.
Yeah?
Yeah. McMahon loves factions.
Who is in this fake faction?
I think Crush, Chains, April. Definitely an unlikely group to start. So my first impressions are probably the most entertaining of these two. So Jordy, I remember meeting him at the watering hole. I had to go for a Bruno meeting, and I remember just seeing this guy wearing this stupid duck shirt, and just it was an orange-yellow shirt.
I remember the shirt.
Stupid little hands thing on it. Stupid duck shirt. And we're just like walking up, and I'm like, who is this asshole? Like, who is this guy right here with his short hair, his little glasses? Ironically enough, Jordy Adichie ended up being my ring announcer for my debut. So little nugget Easter egg there. Old Jordan Deach was my ring announcer.
Temples. You will pay money, but you will get points for the money you paid. You'll draw one of the souvenir cards, and it'll have a price. If you have that many coins, you can add it to your collection. The goal with Japanese-style souvenir collecting is not to get a set. It's actually to get the opposite of a set.
And old Joey Avalon. I remember I was still refereeing at the time when like him and Mark Prevey showed up, the old Inkjet Express. And I remember my first impression of these guys were like, in my head going, who are these assholes? The one in the Bengals jersey and the other guy in the cut-off Twilight shirt that always shows up really close to doors.
I remember the Twilight shirt.
Yeah, and eyeliner. I mean, they did a lot of cool things. And I remember like getting to referee their matches with like Dream Police, and they look cool. Like they look pretty awesome, and they knew a lot of wrestling things. They definitely were different compared to everybody that was there. So that was kind of I think we kind of got put in the same board. Like he was like, hey, who are these guys that do stuff that is definitely different than the norm of guys that were like old school wrestling? They were definitely the more high spotty guys. So like at that point, like Jordy eventually befriended Avalon first. Because I was of course, no confidence. I'm not gonna. Jordy was my only friend. Jordy was my first friend in wrestling because we both kind of started around sort of the same time. And like once he branched off to like Joey, it was like, hey, I'm gonna pal along with him. Like, okay. So I was still kind of by myself. Like they started doing some stuff like together, like going up. I think they started going to like UPW. And I remember like one time like Jordy like asking me like, hey, you want to come with? And I was like, sure. Like. I'm nervous, like I don't really know much things, and then like Joey had been doing a lot of things up there, and I was like, all right, I'll get in the car with these guys, like go up there, like it was fun. But I remember just like wondering, I'm like, am I gonna get along with this tall dude with the blonde hair? Little did I know.
Painter. You own that painter. You own
the hot spring or the innocent?
Alright, I'm gonna go to the hot spring.
Oh, really?
And I'm going to get 3.
Three
I
much.
see monkeys taking a bath. That makes me happy. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
They're pretty great monkeys.
I guess.
So then I gotta go eat now.
You have to go to the end.
One of the most, I would say, a staple of the Real Brock Hall, something that you're famously known for, is your theme song. So where did where did you choose that song? Why? How? And
It wasn't even me. I started down in ICW, the pre-show, and I was like, cool, we'll see if I get booked and if it works. And I remember at that time I was still using like I think it was Static X. It was like a random song. Like I was using Push It. But Dysfunction is actually the one I can 100% credit to that music, because he definitely has a very creative quirk about him that he can latch something onto somebody and it just works.
Yeah, you're never obligated to purchase the meal.
Well,
It's literally like one line at the
That's
front.
what wasn't even that good.
It's the first time somebody told TJ he didn't have to purchase
Here's
it.
the weird part. It's not in the.
You mean this isn't free?
It's not in the meal rules. It's in the example of play line.
And he's just like, hey, you're going to use this song. And I'll be honest, I had never heard this song before. Yeah, and it was like one of those things where it was like, it worked, and I was like, all right, so I'm just use it. And I had no reason to think otherwise, so like I started taking it other places. Like, okay. And I think people really just kind of got sick of how long I would take to come out right away, because I would just let it do the little like beginning thing before I like hit it, because it was just obnoxious.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden people like almost found something to do during that period.
Yeah.
So at that point, all of a sudden I was like, Brock Hall sucks. Like, all right, do it again.
Yeah.
So I make them wait, and they do it again. And at that point, I was like, oh, this is kind of something here. I think I got going here. So now, probably now going on 5 years with New Kids on the Block is my theme song, and it's going nowhere.
Like, literally, we traveled. We're done.
So how do I win?
By having the most enjoyment at the end of the.
Did you enjoy yourself, TJ? Did you have a good time?
I'm poor. I probably have legs for monkeys. I ended up meeting a girl that I had to pay for.
You're literally poor and have collected nothing.
I have a cool picture.
If they're anything,
Good for you.
if they're anything like the snow monkeys out at the news zoo, they have syphilis anyway.
Oh, I got syphilis. I gave syphilis, and I have a shirt.
Good for you. Oh, a shirt.
It says, I came with nothing, I left with syphilis.
That looks really nice on you, though.
Well, thank you. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, what do you want your end mark to be? What do you want people to remember about the Real Brock Hall?
It just, I can't look at failure in a way of I don't make it. To me, I'm successful every day I get to go out and do it. Every day I get to go out in the ring and perform in front of a group of people that look at me the way I used to look at other guys. Like having kids come up and say, like, yeah, and watch me and cheer for me and booing me. That's where I make it. Every time I get out there. Every time I walk out there and people either boo, cheer, indifferent. Even so, you're still there. I'm a part of the show. And being there is what's successful, because if I look back and see 2-year-old Brock and then like middle school Brock and high school Brock and look at what I've done now, like I could have never believed that in a million years that I've gotten to do what I've gotten to do, because I get to do what I love. And not many people can go out and say, hey, do you get to do what the things you've always wanted to do? Like a lot of people have things they want to do. Like, I want to be a fireman or this, but then they do other, and they're working in a business or an office. So when I was 2 years old, all I wanted to do is be a professional wrestler. And now every single weekend, I get to go out and be a professional wrestler. And to me, that's a success. Hey, it's the Real Brawl Call here. Thanks for having me. I'm Between Counts with TJB. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, it's at Real Brawl Call, no surprise. Facebook, Brawl Call. Instagram, GB3_4_life. And also, if you'd like to buy a t-shirt to help me, because I got kids, gotta feed them, a lot of them. Not 43, but it's close. It's Pro Wrestling Tees, and my store is You Wish You Were 28, or look up the Real Brawl Call. And please, don't forget the most important thing. Like, subscribe, Between Counts, the TV.